Hi guys, Tugger here with a new video, and there is a topic where I wanted to discuss about it. It didn't really fit in my suggestion videos, and I think we are kind of ready for a new rated system. And I was being thinking about how can you actually improve the amount of people going to play rated and going to grind rated brackets, like for example 2s, 3s, solo shuffle, soon to be solo Q RBGs, and also team RBGs. I think we need to find a system where you want people to grind and don't feel like they are not making progress for some reason, and also like something that makes people want to play. Now, already discussed about how to reward players. You will find a video like this in the description, but let's now talk about like a system, like how can we improve the MMR system, the CR system, just in general rated systems for World of Warcraft. So I want to brainstorm a bit with you guys. I think right now, it's not thinking, I know, you have basically a system where you have 0 to 1000 CR, which is pretty much like unrated, you're not rated yet. Then you have 1000, which is combatant, I think, but combatant 1. Then you have combatant 2 at 1200. Then yeah, you have challenger 1, challenger 2, and then rival, and then rival 1. Rival 2. And then you have duelist, elite, and then plus for rank 1 and glad. So this is currently the system we have, and if you're like playing any other, like 3s or 2s or solo shuffle, you know that pretty much from 0 to 1400, this is pretty much on a normal, not deflated season. So just a normal season, this is achievable by just playing. And this is the reality of things. If you're just playing in solo shuffle in 2s or in 3s, normally you can achieve 1400 just by playing, even with a negative win ratio. So as long as you win some, you will gain 1400 at one point, and then from that point your MMR kind of overtakes it to be able to progress to newer brackets. So if you keep on losing, you're going to keep on the 1400 kind of vibe, and if you're winning some, you will get to 1600 pretty reliably. And then from 1600 plus, this is where the grind kind of begins. This is the grind begins pretty much. And a lot of people are like hovering at 1600 in 2s, 3s, or in solo shuffle. This is like pretty much where everyone is at whenever you're not really like, let's say, committed to actually grind, or you're not really successful at it, which can be possible. Not everyone is proficient with every single spec. Maybe is mage not really a class for you, and you would be 1800 if you were a warrior, for example. But 1600 is pretty much the middle point. It's like, I would say, gold, like the gold ranked in League of Legends, for example. So you have iron, bronze, silver, which is pretty much like the novice rated brackets, where again it's difficult to get out if you're like not really good, but once you got out on gold, that's where you actually are stuck if you're not improving, or you feel like there is something missing on your gameplay pretty much. So that's the same for League of Legends. What we do want, so new system, I think, is a system where you cannot really, you have like a demotion kind of protection. So it means if you are like, let's say 1600, you cannot demote anymore. So it means that you can keep on losing multiple games in a row, and you would stick to 1600 if you keep on losing. At one point, if you keep on losing without winning, you can then lose the 1600 MMR CR threshold. So what does it achieve? That achieves like some consistency behind players, that they feel like, look, they have second chances. And I feel like having a second chance at keeping your rank, because sometimes you're like having a bad day and you're playing it and you kind of just chain losing, and it's very hard to then regain your ranks, because the MMR system is at such that they will think that you do not deserve the 1600. So you will have to work way harder to get that 1600 once you have lost it. And you can replace 1600 by 1800 by 2100 depending on the bracket, but this is pretty much how it goes. Sometimes you have a healer that is 2100 literally going downhill to 1600 as a healer just in one day, one sitting, and they have big struggles to go back to 2k1, and that's not really what you want from your player base. It's not really an elitist ranked system. It is not promoting the fact that 2400 is easy to achieve. That is not it. But I think once you have achieved a certain rank, you kind of have to have a fallback safe place for if you have a bad day. Again, I'm not saying like you can lose 20 games in a row and have nothing, but I think having 3 games where you're going to stick at that one rating and you're not losing, I think that could be a good thing. Now, the issues with World of Warcraft is you have a lot of win trading, and that system should not be applied to 2100 plus. I think 2100 you have only 2 chances and then you lose it, and 2400 you don't have a demotion protection, I would say. So, same as League of Legends, whenever you are like master and you have 0 CR, for example, you do lose your master normally, I think. I think it is time related though, but still, if you're like playing and you're losing, generally you will lose your higher rank because it is just made like this that you have to grind. Now, what does it achieve? What does it achieve? Pretty much, you reward your players for consistency and achieving something. So I know that for a lot of people, again, when I say a lot of people, you still have a big minority at the top. Again, whenever I am 2k100 or I am 2400 on social, I'm still not in the 95% of the player base. I'm more closer to the 5%, to the 4%, to the 3% of the player base. So you kind of want to reward the 95% that is actually trying to improve every single day by playing. So they have a fail-safe at every single bracket pretty much until like I would say 1950 and then 2.1k you don't have a like a demotion protection. That is up to debate, but those have demotion protection, again below 1400 as well, but I think it's like that rated CR is really easier to achieve. Like you don't really have a punishment whenever you're losing it, but whenever you're chain losing from 10.1k to 1600, your MMR is depleted, especially as a healer. It's very hard to come back from it. So what you want is demotion protection, so the player base has a second chance at climbing. So even if you have a bad day, you still have somewhat of a chance to come back from that bad day. And how many people, like again in the chat, like comments, let me know, did it already occur to you that whenever you were 2100 as a healer or a DPS in 2s or in 3s, whatever, that you had a very bad session, you are tilted, you keep on queuing because you love the game, but you're tilted, you want to win, and you keep on losing, and you're actually losing 2 or 3 tiers of that rated thing, like for example 2s, 3s, or Soul Shuffle, or even Team RPGs. It's really a feels bad moment. Now, the issues, again, like I said, win trading, that's something that Blizzard just has to work on. That's something that is dev side. Players are going to abuse things that are possible to be abused. That's why GTKPs are abused at one point, especially right now in Classic. That's why win trading is abused, boosting is abused. All those things are abused because Blizzard lets it do it. But I think you still have to reward or actually be making the things consistent for the player base. But that's one thing. That's a new system. Now, added to the new system is a decay. We need a decay of the ranks for inactive people. And whenever I'm saying decay, it doesn't apply to the 1600 to the 1800. Decay should be active from 2 I think 2.1k, but whatever, 2.1k for 100. You can have decay, and at 2k4 you have to have decay. So what does it mean, decay? Decay is something that is applied to people that are not actively playing with that character. For example, there's a lot of people that got like 2.5k, 2.6k, even 2.1k, and they said, I'm going to stop to play. And what is happening is that you're keeping your rank. It is also very it's not easy to see what is going on with the meta, because people can grind from the first week on a OP character, like for example I would say Bounce Druid at the start of the season, and they get like 2.6k, and then they stop playing till the end of the season, and you don't really have like the knowledge of, like, let's say in retrospective, why or how they got 2.6k to begin with. So it's very hard to have statistics and to analyze metas with this happening. But also you have a lot of people that are gained 2.41, 2.4, 2.5, 2.6, and what happens is they are ulting with, let's say, a second druid or a third druid or a fifth druid. You have a lot of mages that are like this. For example, again, they can do whatever they do because, again, they have longer queues. But Raikou, you have Aegis, I think. You have multiple mages, multiple rogues, multiple druids, multiple of everything that has like ults that they do play, because again at higher rated the queues are very long. But why? Because people achieve their rated like goals and then they stop playing. What they should do is basically improve and reward players for keep on playing. And again, that comes back to the video where I made about rewards. You have to reward your players to again say, look, you want to still keep playing so you can have the best goals, the best rewards, the best transmogs, the best everything. So again, you can improve, have popularity on your game modes, and still have a lot of like the ladder representation out of that game mode. And I think that should be for 2s, 3s, solo shuffle, and etc. And again, a decay just occurs whenever you're not playing for 1 week. You're not playing, and it stops whenever you are queuing one time. And guess what? People are queuing one time and they're not going to log off. They're going to keep on playing because everyone is going to do that, which means that the queues are going to be lower. And this should be applied to healers as well. So if you achieved your ranks of 2100 or 2400, you need to have some decay. So you keep on playing that spec. And if you're like saying don't care, well, it is what it is. Then your achievement of 2.4k is going to be gone. Well, that should actually happen, to be honest. If you're not keeping your 2.4k, it should not be that you're keeping that season 2 elite or season 2 glad achievement. I think that's something that people will hate. It's a hot take because that's something that is just not casual friendly. But it kind of has to happen. I don't think there is a single competitive game where you don't have DK. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe CS:GO, maybe Valorant, but I know that League of Legends and Dota has that. But I think competitivity, you need to have some DK so you can actually promote your game at your higher rated brackets. And again, I'm saying it's from 2.1k or from 2.4k that you have DK. At lower rating, I don't know if you can actually apply DK. You can, but it's very difficult. Because again, how much should be the DK? And the DK is something like very little. Like it could be 30 CR every week if you're not playing, for example. It could be something like that. And it's not big. You can also straight ignore it, and at one point you're going to say, look, I'm going to play it back, and there you go with your MMR. Your MMR is not going to decay, only your CR is going to decay. So you could do like that. But I think in general, that's an idea I have. It's a hot take. I think if you already have like one of those things, so for example, the new system I'm talking about, so the things where you have thresholds where you cannot really go under those thresholds, and you have the motion protection, I think that's already a huge W. You're going to say, but everyone is going to achieve duelist. That's not going to happen because currently, let's face it, normally with the inflation, you're going to achieve duelist at one point. The problem is not everyone is going to achieve duelist because there's a skill gap. There's people that are just not duelists like skillfully, they cannot reach that, and that's something that is not bad. I think not everyone should be able to get to 2.1k, but everyone should be feeling rewarded for the time investment that they put. So if they put a battle pass system without like real money trading, so it means nobody can buy it with money to progress on the battle pass, but you have to PvP with dailies and weeklies. Why not? Or you can actually achieve like the video I suggested to do for the rating system for 2s, 3s, social and SOLOQ RPGs, but also team RPGs, is to put a mount. It's not glad mount, but it's a mount. It's a Lego mount. What do I mean with Lego? It is literally a naked mount, and every time you're reaching a new threshold, for example 1600, 1800, 2k, 2.1k, whatever, you get like new pieces that you can put on your mount, and the color of the mount is pretty much the representation of said bracket. For example, 2s, 3s, social, SOLOQ RPGs and team RPGs have different colors, and once you have like that glad win, you get like the shiny version of that mount, and that you can call the glad mount, for example. And you're going to say, but it's silly that you have like something like this in the game because you're going to devaluate what's already in the game, which is the glad mount. I'm going to say, look, right now, if you want to have any sensible rewards at higher play, it's the 3v3 bracket. And I think that is limiting the other game modes by having that. I think you should reward every single game mode. And I think with the new system plus the reward system I'm talking about, which is a whole video, if you want to check it out, you can check at the end of the video. I think PvP would be a lot more further than what it is right now. You could also have, like I said, a battle pass system, which is PvP, which you can progress in unrated and rated, and you would have dailies and weeklies for both of those things, so for unrated and also rated, and you can then get new transmogs, new recolors, whatever, and that could be something very cool to have in PvP, but I think it will be very hard to implement in this current expansion, but that's something that would be nice to have in the next expansion. So let me know what you think about this video. Bye.